Hello and welcome to my review of the University of South Carolina men's basketball 83-76 loss to the Arkansas Razorbacks. So the Gamecocks came out with a massive opening. They came out and they just blitzed them. And I thought that it was going to be a good estimation of where the game was going to go. I thought we came with the right energy. It was all going well. But then it all kind of fell to pieces, and Arkansas was able to claw back into the game, and then we were able to bring it back to parity a couple times, but it wasn't in the end enough. And I think that this game demonstrated one of the problems that I think has plagued our team throughout the season, in that we don't really have a bench, and our bench isn't contributing enough to our offense and actually to our team itself, even defensively, to keep us into the game. We actually were up, I forget the exact numbers, but we were up something like 21-10 at the beginning of the game in the first 5 minutes, and then we started to sub on some of our people off the bench, and then the game blew up. We couldn't even come back. They came back and drew back to level, and then they got a lead, and then they just extended that lead throughout the game. We can't put all the blame squarely on the shoulders of the bench, because I don't think that's fair. But if you look at the actual difference in the teams, Arkansas was able to get 18 points of production off their bench, whereas South Carolina was only able to get 8. Part of that was just because of the good play of Macon, who was one of the Arkansas players who had actually a really good game. But I think it shows that one of South Carolina's biggest weaknesses is its lack of depth. And if South Carolina want to be a legitimate contender in March, they're going to have to deal with these issues, and other players are going to have to step up. Because a lot of the times what South Carolina falls into is we tend to rely heavily on Sindarius Thornwell to get most of our points. And in fact, in most of our games, he tends to get almost half of our points. It isn't a bad thing. Sindarius is an amazing player. But in some of our games, we tend to rely too heavily on Sindarius to actually get us through the game. And in this game, we actually had a pretty good distribution of points from our starters. Notice was able to get 14 points. Silva got 16. Dozier had 9, which is a little low for him, but we actually had a good offense in this game. Getting 76 points is usually pretty good for us. But our problem is that our defense was horrible in this game. We let them have a bunch of open shots and even their contested shots, which goes down to bad luck. They ended up hitting a lot of their contested and difficult shots, which credit to Arkansas. They actually played a really good game and were better than I gave them credit for. It's the mark of very good teams, and if that's what we want to be, a very good team, when we win these sorts of games where we don't play as well. I don't want to go as far as saying it's bad omens for the tournament yet, because I don't want to go that far. We're still in third place in the conference, and we're not even in the tournament stage yet, and it's better to get these blips out before the tournament. But what concerns me more than another game might have is that we actually played well in this game, and we still lost to a team that we should be beating. They are in a lower position in our conference. Like I say, it's not complete doom and gloom, but these are the games that we should be winning. So I want to know what you guys all think as a Gamecock and as a actually newly men's basketball fan. I haven't gone to many of these games, but I've started to pick up some things as I've been watching these past couple months. I think we have the groundwork of having a really good team, and we actually have the potential to be something special, and we can do something good in the tournament. But I think that going forward, we're going to have to become a more complex team. Maybe we're going to have to become experienced in our play and be able to win in many different ways. Win when we're not playing as well, and then when we are playing as well, we're going to have to find ways to capitalize on our success, because a lot of what led us to lose this game was mistakes that were made. Silly passes, bad fouls, people fouling out. Chris Silva and Dozier got into foul trouble really early, which isn't good, and that's one of the main issues with Silva's game, is that he's a great offensive player, but then he tends to foul and get fouled out really easily. Like I said, it's good to have these problems now in the regular season, but if we want to do well in the tournament, we're going to have to turn that around and somehow improve our game so that we can do well in the SEC tournament and then hopefully in March. So I want to thank you for watching. This has been my review of the South Carolina Gamecocks 76-83 loss to the Arizona Razorbacks. I hope for the Gamecocks' success. I will see you in the next video. Go Cox.